Hello and welcome to Rick's Model Kit Reviews. I am Rick Arter. Today we'll be looking at the Revell Datsun Off-Road Pickup, part of the truck series. It's in 1/24 scale, skill level 2, so paint and glue are required, and it was released in 2014. Looking around the box, on the front they have a photo of the model built up, and on the sides here they have some information. The model is 7 3/8 inches long, features 50 parts, it's molded in white, and here's your paint guide. Similar photos on other sides. Now let's open this up and we'll get a good look at all the parts inside. Upon opening the box, everything's nicely bagged up in individual bags. Clear parts. 4 black off-road tires. 1 large bag with all the white molded plastic parts. Chrome plated parts tree, which included decal sheets. Looks pretty nice. Looks like they have some stripes, typical what you see of these 70s to 80s trucks. Here is the instruction sheet, typical Revell fashion here. Have some photos as well as some information and some stuff here before you begin if you haven't built any models before. Here's your paint guide once again. Rundown of all the parts included so you know what the names of them are, as well as to make sure that everything is included upon purchase. Some nice exploded illustrations here in black and white to help you put everything together. And your final assembly and decal placement. So now let me take everything out of the bags and I'll give you a good look at all the parts. Here's a chrome plated parts tree included. Overall detail and the chrome plating look very nice. Here's your 4 wheels. Looks like an air cleaner. Alternator. Looks like a 4-wheel drive. Shift lever there. And there's another shifter there. Chrome plated valve cover. And this looks to be a handle of some sort. I'm not exactly sure where that goes. Front bumper and grill guard. Some lights there that are attached there, and you can put some stickers over those. There's your chrome plated grill and headlight assembly. Side mirrors. Overall it looks very nice. Here are the clear parts, not a whole lot included here, just your front and rear glass is one assembly, as well as your 4 headlights. Here are the included black vinyl tires. They are no-name off-road style tires. Feature nice tread detail as well as good sidewall detail. And these look similar, if not identical, to the ones that Revell includes in the GMC snowplow and I think the GMC wrecker kit, but overall they're nice looking tires. Moving on to the white molded parts, there are 2 parts trees plus the body and hood, and the body and bed are molded as one piece. Detail looks to be very nice and crisp. Now being this kit only has 50 parts, there are a whole lot of details that are molded in and some details that might actually be lacking. Overall, though, I'm not seeing a whole lot of imperfections. Looks to be a pretty clean mold here. Your Datsun script on the back, as well as a license plate bracket. Nice molded in flares, and they also include the decals to put those over there if you want them to be black, or you could paint them if you wish. It looks like there's a little bit of flash there on the bottom, but that shouldn't be too hard to clean up. Downside I can say to this is it's going to be a little harder to paint, especially if you want to do a multi-tone paint job, or if you want to do, like, say, black or silver on the inside here. You're going to have to mask all that off. Whereas if you had a multi-piece assembly, you could paint it all separately and then glue it all together when you're done. And it looks like they have what they did in some of their other kits, where they have a separate piece here that goes on the back. And they have the Datsun script there on the side. And it looks to be pretty nice to where it's not going to get covered up by some sanding or some painting and priming. Overall looks very nice. Hood is the same. Some nice grills molded in. So as all your body lines look to be very nice. On the bottom here, there are some small sink marks on the outside edges. You can see those there, but there is some detailing as far as the structure support underneath there, but it's very thin, so hopefully you can get that all sanded out and it won't actually take out any of the detail. Overall nice. Just fit this on here, see how it is. Should be a pretty good fit. Don't seem to be any warping or anything with the parts. Should be pretty straight and true. So now moving on to the next parts tree. Looks like most of the suspension is all molded as one piece. Your seats, a little bit of flash here and there, but not too big of a deal. Interior tub. Don't see any sink marks in there. This be all pretty good. Some small carpet type texture there on the floor. Center console. Some pedals that are molded in there, but they're barely visible. Exhaust assembly, steering column assembly, wheel backs. Roll bar for the back. They have some lights included there that you can put the stickers over. Seats have nice detail to them. Front suspension set up with what looks like a rock guard there. Not a whole lot of detail on the side of the leaf springs there, but I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of that once it's all assembled. Little seam line there, if you can see it, going down the middle of the rear axle. And they're just open style differentials there you can see on the top. So if you do lift this up a lot, you might have an issue with seeing that. But as is building the kit, box stock, looks pretty good. Last parts tree here. You got the chassis. A lot of stuff molded in there, not a big fan of that. Going to be hard to get that all detail painted to look proper, but it is possible. Spare tire, fuel tank, exhaust. Looks like your transfer case and everything in here all molded in. Looks like another little rock guard there. Engine assembly, everything's molded in. Detail's pretty nice. A little bit of seam line, mold line action going on there. Your fan, pulleys and belt are all assembled as one, and there's not really the best detail in that part there. I'm not sure how well the camera's going to pick that up, but it's kind of a chunky unit if you want to call it that. Dashboard's nice, has some molded in gauge detail, radio, center console, vents. Overall looks to be really nice. And there is that rear section there, which actually has some of the bed molded into it. It's a little bit different. It's the inside section there. Other parts of your wheels there. On the top, there are sink marks here, but you're not going to see those because they will be underneath your interior pan. Overall, there isn't really any detail here, and there's the Revell 1985, so I guess that's when this kit was originally reissued, or released, was 1985. So you'll probably have to sand that off if you're not a big fan of those logos on there. But this is all just straight regular plastic here. There isn't any kind of detailing on that, and I'm not sure on the real truck if it would be like that. There is some nice detailing down here on this little module assembly here. Looks to be some little wires and such there. Overall looks pretty clean. Doesn't look like a whole lot of seam lines or anything. There are what looks to be some mold lines that run down the exhaust. Shouldn't be too hard to get those out. But overall, let's look at all the white molded parts. So after looking at the Datsun off-road pickup from Revell, I definitely recommend this. It's nice to see that Revell has released this not so often seen pickup truck. it's not your typical Chevy or Ford that you always see from these manufacturers, so I definitely give it a thumbs up for that. Also, the molds are very crisp, so I'm not sure if this is new castings that they've done. The date on one of the parts was 1986, so I'm not sure if they've released this in the past and they've updated the molds, or the molds are just that crisp still. But as you guys saw, the parts look very nice, limited cleanup, limited sink marks, so it's awesome to see. The cons that I can say are low parts count, a lot of molded in stuff, but that's good for a lot of people because most people, you know, they want to put something together. They don't want to spend a whole lot of time having to detail all these little parts and glue them all together and make sure everything's going to fit right. So that's one good thing. But if you're looking for a truck that's really detailed, you might want to look elsewhere, or you might want to add some aftermarket parts or custom make some parts for the truck. But overall, like I said, this is an excellent model. I highly recommend it, and it's really cool to see Revell coming out with a kit like this that you don't see every day. So I appreciate everybody watching the video. You guys all have a great day, and I'll talk to you real soon.